Today we're looking again at what does success mean to you? And the reason for that is because at the end of the day, traditionally success has meant money, job, big car, and all the rest of it for many people. And for many people, they can feel that they need to follow that route. But in Succeed from the Start, we know that success is far deeper than that. And we're looking at what success means to those who think with their heart as well as their head. And I've got the lovely David Corbishley with me here today. And I'm looking forward to finding out what he believes success is. So first of all, welcome, David. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, I would love to ask you that question. What is success for you?
So success is a tricky one, I think, and this might sound a bit strange to begin with, but for me, success is a byproduct. And I think it's Viktor E. Frankl says in Man's Search for Meaning that success is what happens as a result of trying to achieve something. And if you search for success, and I'm paraphrasing massively here, and I'll probably get a lot of comments saying that that's completely wrong. But when you're searching for success, it's very difficult to come by. But when you have a bigger goal or a bigger aim in mind, that's when the success comes along. And it's the same for happiness. If you're searching or hunting for happiness, it can be quite difficult to come by. But actually, happiness comes when you are striving for something bigger than you for a purpose. So for me, that success is a byproduct of a bigger goal, of a bigger aim. And in that sense, whether or not I'm successful or not is measured against that goal and that aim. And I guess that is to help as many people live a happy, fulfilled, and fruitful life as possible. So other people's success then, I guess, would be vicariously my success. That's how I would measure my success. Obviously, there are sort of key performance indicators within that, financial freedom would definitely be one element of success, the ability to provide for yourself and for your loved ones, and to be able to buy things that you want and need without necessarily worrying about the price tag, and not to be too worried, if you get a flat tire or something goes wrong with your car engine, and all of that is sort of a measure of success. But for me, it's never really been about the materialistic, owning a big house, driving a fancy car. Those things would be nice, sure, if they happen. I'm not going to send them away. But really, the success is achieving those goals and helping other people achieve their goals that feed into my fundamental goal. So yeah, those two things. It's a byproduct of having a purpose, and it's other people's success is my success.
You've spoken like somebody who certainly lives from his heart rather than his head. So I love to hear that, because for many people that I work with, that is where success starts. It's success in, like I say, it's a word, and it's the feeling of fulfillment. And very often that fulfillment comes from the people that you help. And that sounds like it is for you. So what kind of success then, or what results do you help your clients get?
So the initial result and initial success that we always have is understanding where they want to be. So whether you use it, call it the Japanese concept of ikigai or purpose, whatever that might be, understanding a vision, a clear vision, and having a clarity of vision and a direction for where they want to be. And then the following success from that is understanding how they get there. For me, so I work on there are four core elements that I do with all of my clients, whether it's personal coaching or business coaching, or even in a self-defense class. We look at the being, the sense of self first, and how we can improve that and boost that. And then we work on energy levels and making sure energy levels are constant. So when we work in schools, a lot of the kids are like, oh yeah, I've got loads of energy. I'm a 10 out of 10 for energy. But their energy isn't being channeled productively. And it's like, all right, are you using your energy productively, or are you using your energy to wind up your teachers? And if you're winding up your teachers, then your energy can't be a 10 out of 10. So it's not just about having energy, it's about using it purposefully and productively, and also having it consistently. It's easy to be energized after you have a meeting with a coach. When I come off a call with my own coach, I feel really energized. It's whether that energy then stays consistent going forwards. And then the next element is relationships. So relationships with other people and relationships with ourselves. And obviously, we want to work on our relationship with ourselves first, and then we can work on our relationship with other people. Again, with kids a lot, they're like, oh yeah, well, I get on with all my friends. It's really good. It's easy to be nice to people you like. So relationships is the key for me, is relationships with people maybe that you don't necessarily get on that well with, and how do we get the most out of those? How do we turn those almost negative relationships into productive and positive relationships. And then finally is impact, how we can shape the world around us, how we can make the world a better place, how we can improve the lives of other people. And we work through those 4 areas, getting those to a 10 out of 10. And using that, applying that process to the vision, we then see results in achieving that vision and making sure that vision comes to reality. The next key thing I would say is balance. So a lot of the time, so I started working predominantly with men as a personal coach one-to-one, and I realized a lot of them were business owners who had completely unbalanced lives, who were working 80, 90, 100 hours a week, completely stressed. But they would go on holiday and they would be on their phone all the time, trying to make sure that everything was running smoothly. They'd be going for dinner with their wife or their husband, and they would make sure that they would be taking phone calls, and they never really shut off or shut down, and they were suffering with burnout in a lot of cases. So it's that balance, making sure that you are being productive when you are meant to be being productive, but you are also taking time to rest and recuperate and make sure that those things, we don't live to work, we should be working to live, right? And so it's making sure that the reason you're running a business or the reason you're doing what you're doing it for the right reasons. And it's not, again, it's that word, it comes back to that word success. Is success another £1 million in the bank? Is that going to make you happy? Or is success feeling like you've accomplished something, or feeling like you have good relationships to the people that care about you, feeling like you'll leave a positive legacy, whether that's within your own family or in the wider community? So those are the key things, I think, is vision, understanding where people are and how to get where they want to be, and then finding that balance, achieving that balance. And from that balance comes freedom.
I love that. Thank you very much for sharing that. So how could people get in touch with you if something you've said has resonated with them and they would love to talk a bit more about it?
So the best way is probably to go via LinkedIn and start a conversation via LinkedIn. I do have websites. They tend not to get as much traction as LinkedIn, but yeah, they can find me on LinkedIn and they can just drop me a message, or they can book an appointment directly from there, and we can have a first initial chat. If they own a business, we'll do a free strategy session. If not, we'll do a free sort of diagnostics session of where they are and where they want to go. And there's completely free, no obligation. I'm not looking to make any money out of people in that first instance. And in fact, money is not really the driving force anyway. Obviously, I need money to live and survive because I live in the world, but the real drive is to help people make sure that they are getting the success they want out of life.
And that's so important. So thank you for coming along, because often I speak to women and there's a lot more support for women. And often a lot more women will reach out and ask for that support. But if you're listening to us and you're not a woman and you want to get some help and support, then David's there for you too. And as you said, David, it's not just men that you work with, but it's really, really good to find someone that you can go to, you can talk to, you can be honest with, and you can talk about how you're really feeling without having to pretend that things are going okay. So do reach out to David. I'm going to invite David back on our other longer podcast, which is all about moving from the head to the heart. And we'll look forward to inviting you along there. Thank you, David, for sharing your success and also that of your clients.
Thank you for having me.